Good morning, Year 7. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. For your do now, I would like you to think of somewhere that is really important to you. It could be your home or another special place. How does thinking about this place make you feel? And how would you feel if you had to leave? I would like you to write a description or draw the place. Pause the video for about 5 minutes to do this now. So today's title is Dulce Domum. Please could you write the date and the title? What do you think it means? And what does this tell you about the importance of home? Pause the video to answer these questions. So it means sweetly at home. There is pretty strong evidence that the environment in which people live is closely linked to their well-being. It's sort of like the human-animal attachment to territory is built into our DNA. We have a need for a place that is called home. Home provides security, control, belonging, identity, and privacy, among other things. But most of all, it's a place that provides us with a centering, a place from which we leave each morning and to which we return each evening. This was spoken by Graham Rouse, a gerontology professor at the University of Kentucky. Dulce Domum is the name of Chapter 5. You might be thinking about their home sweet home at this point. Pause the video for a moment to jot down your idea. So of course it's the mole. Remember, the last time the mole was at home was in Chapter 1, when he was spring cleaning. He's been staying with the rat ever since. We've seen him spend the summer on the river and get lost in the wild wood in the winter, so it's been nearly a year. And there you have the extract from Chapter 1, right at the start of the novel. So pause the video for a moment to read through it. How does Mole feel about his home? Read the extract from Chapter 5 and then come back to this video. So the extract is on class charts. So let's explore some quotations using literary terms and one-word analysis. Home. That was what they meant. Those caressing appeals, those soft touches wafted through the air, those invisible little hands pulling and tugging all one way. So home. We've got a one-word exclamatory sentence showing importance and emotion. Caressing. Adjectives showing home as gentle and soothing, caressing and soft. So we've got a personification of home with hands that are able to pull him in. The verbs pulling and tugging show strength, the force that home has on him. He feels pulled towards it. So what I'd like you to do now is choose at least 2 of these quotations to explore. Remember to use literary terms and one-word analysis, just like I showed you in the example. So you can pick any of the quotations on the slide for your quotation explosion. So pause the video for 15 minutes to do this now. And if you're speeding through, maybe you could do a third one as well. So pause the video to do this now. Okay, so what I'd like you to consider next, what do we know about the other animals' homes? Write down anything you can remember about them. So consider Ratty's home, Toad's home, and Badger's home. Pause the video for 10 minutes to make some notes on these animals' homes now. So I know it's a shabby, dingy little place, he sobbed forth at last brokenly. Not like your cosy quarters or Toad's beautiful hall or Badger's great house, but it was my own little home, and I was fond of it, and I went away and forgot all about it. So that's Mole talking about his home. So Ratty, so can you copy all this down, please? Ratty lives by and on the river. It's important to him to be close to it. He opens his home to share with the Mole happily, giving him the best bedroom. Even one night away from the river on the road, trip with Toad and Mole, has him thinking back to the river and how he misses it. Ratty is happy there in winter and summer. Toad Hall is very handsome, and it's a dignified building. Toad is rich and has staff to look after him. He has stables, land, a boat, etc. Everything is always done to a very high standard at Toad Hall. It's a privileged life. Badger's house is deep underground. It seems dark and mysterious at first, but then is found to be welcoming, warm, bright, and well supplied with food. Mole is more at home there than Ratty, who is used to the fresh air. So pause the video to make sure you have all this written down. You don't need to have the extract about Mole's house written down though. Next, I'd like you to reread the description of Mole's home and make notes on what it is like. Pause the video to do this now. Okay, so we know it's close and airless, underground with a small passage to get there. The entrance is neatly swept and sanded underfoot, with a little front door with Mole End painted in Gothic lettering over the bell pull at the side. There's a tidy courtyard outside with seat, plants, statues, and so on, as well as a skittle alley and tables where animals sit and drink beer next to the pond. The house is dusty and deserted, and Mole realises it looks very small. There's little sleeping bunks in the wall, and a cheerful fire is built quickly. There's not much food in, but they find enough to sort dinner: sardines, biscuits, sausage, and beer. There's prints on the walls, and Ratty says they make the place look so homelike. Mole has planned everything out and chosen his possessions carefully, buying some when he has money from a gift or savings, and the others found as bargains. He is proud to tell Ratty about them all. So make sure you've made some notes from what's on the slide. You don't need to write everything down, but at least 4 points, please. Okay, so finally, what are the similarities and differences between the different animals' homes? You can pick any pair to compare, or consider links between any of the 4. Please submit this to class charts as part of evidence of your work today. So right at the top, whose homes you're comparing. It could be, I think quite a good one to do would be Toad Hall and Mole's home, or maybe you'd want to do Ratty's home and Mole's home. I don't mind. Or it could be the differences between all 4 homes, but you need to have similarities as well. So make sure you've clearly identified which animals' homes you're comparing, then you make a list of similarities and a list of differences. So pause the video for 5 to 10 minutes to do this final task. And that is the end of today's lesson. So thank you very much for your hard work. I hope you found it interesting, and I look forward to speaking to you next week. So have a wonderful weekend.